I have to get a new cat. I think I'm going to name the cat Ibada, despite it not being a great name for a cat or a cute name. Sometimes you just have to keep it real. Maybe I can name the cat Shu for Special Housing Unit, which is the solitary confinement part of prison. Shout out to all my homies locked up in the Shu. For keeping it too real. One of my colleagues asked me to do a very mundane task yesterday, and I got so mad. It's because I'm still like halfway in my jail mode. So they asked me to do something like really trivial, like send an email to somebody, and I got really mad because I was like, well, does this person think I'm a bitch? What do they think I am? I have to send this email out? I'm gonna keep it real. And then I realized that, you know, I'm not in jail anymore, and this is the way the corporate world works, and I should probably calm down and send the email. And you know, it was just a funny reminder that, you know, you can get very acclimated to a certain environment, and you know, it's I'm glad to not be in that environment anymore. But you know, when you keep it real, it's too real, things can go wrong very quickly. Emergent bio, we could definitely look at that. I know somebody wants me to look at prevention. Shank him. Why you asked me to send me this email? Huh? Institutionalized, totally, totally. I've met people who are in jail for 30 years. They're just straight crazy. One of the guys I met in jail was in there for, all right, get this. This guy got a 2-year sentence, right? Goes to jail, gets into a fight, stabs a guy and kills him. Gets 30 years on top of his 2 years. You had to keep it real. You can't let somebody make you a punk. God forbid somebody insults you and you don't retaliate. Now you're a punk. So he kills the guy and he gets 30 years. Whoops. My bad. And then he becomes Muslim. This is a black guy. Pretty common for that to happen in prison. And then I meet the guy, and yeah, he's out of his mind. And I get to know his bunkmate as well, who's a cool kid from New York, bit of a troublemaker, but nice guy. And the bunkmate comes to me one day and is like, man, my bunkie's going crazy. And I'm like, what's wrong? And he said, well, I moved some of the stuff on our shared bench, and he saw it and he flipped out. He said, why'd you move my stuff? What'd you do to my stuff? Did you take my stuff? And the guy was like, no, what the fuck? You know? and the guy was like ready to kill him, because like ultimately to this guy, that cell is his house. You know, so if you're messing around with somebody's house, you know, it's kind of a crazy thing. You know, to me or to my friend, this isn't our house. This is just our fucking the place that we don't give a shit about. It's like being in a bad hotel for way too long of a stay. But to him, no, that's his. Some people even call it their crib. You'd say, I would say, come to the cell, come to my cell, I-20 or whatever. And some of the other guys in the prison would be like, all right, meet me in my crib in 5 minutes. It's like, crib? This is not your crib? Crib? I got my multiplication and addition backwards. Whoops. Alright, something's wrong here. This times this plus this. Order of operations. Okay, still? Okay. Order of operations plus freeze. There we go. It's been a long night, I guess. I got a good night of sleep, so I'm not sure why I'm doing these all wrong. All right, so what is 300 million-ish in perpetuity worth? Well, it's not worth 6 billion, I don't think. Let's see. Any finance student knows what roughly an annuity discounted by 9% is worth roughly 11, right? 11 times that annuity. 1 divided by the discount rate. So this stock is trading for 6 billion. We got to add back the little bit of cash that we're getting. And I'm including profits from a drug they don't even have FDA approval yet, and I basically don't even know how well it'll sell yet. I'm only saying they get $500 million of a $2 billion market. They're saying it's a $4 billion market, so maybe I'm being conservative. But $500 million would make it the second best-selling growth hormone. I think they expect it to be the best-selling growth hormone. And maybe it will be. Well, let's see what happens if it does become the best-selling growth hormone. Okay, now the stock is worth 6.7 billion, which is basically what the stock is trading for now anyway. So I'm not sure why I'd be too excited about that, right? I think Intilia will at least double from here. Using React 18, we've got a new system coming up. I don't think, I don't like CRSP actually. Looks like I found a new bug. Interesting. The hell, what in tarnation?